we got those for that? Can we have, can you come in, Kathy, with any ready? Okay, well, Kath, you go with Bryce and I'll come in shortly. I've got pre-records to do. And Penelope's in makeup. So we'll get there you go, buddy.
That's the weather.
Yes, she's ready to go. Yep.
Ready to go.
Yep.
All right.
Looking good.
A couple of words if you're still there, Cole.
Kathy, can you speak to? Oh, Kathy, just earpiece check. Are you on earpiece? Right. Can you speak to us a little for? So just getting mic'd up. Oh, should cheer people up to see her this morning. Now I'm trying to do these pre-records. I'll put the. Can I borrow a line for a few minutes, Bryce? Do you want to work on the pre?
No, you go ahead.
Okay.
You go through it.
Put the isobars up 620. Yeah, Suite 4. Sorry. Suite 4 graphics. Oh, that's the old tomorrow's isobars, isn't it? Must be the old one. Suite 4 still Storm. Well, look, can we go into the list and look at the weather, the satellite maps, Bryce? Okay. See if we can do those. Suite 4 tapes.
So, I'm going to go.
Hi,
Yeah, no, who's that?
Philip here.
Hi, Philip. Can we stand by to record the satellite maps, please?
Yep, okay.
I think it's 6106 on the.
I'm recording on radar. I'm recording on radar.
Once when we're on air, Steve, we've got
Change.
one person here, one here. So it'll be a full lineup and another one.
That's the third one, is it?
Yeah.
It should be 00, 12 and 50. Oh, you're going to put the 3 on? Oh, what a good idea. No change, so you don't have to
Oh,
change.
last changed on B.
Would you just give these checks?
Oh, right. Yeah, sure. Hang on.
Has she got anything to read out?
Earpiece check. Kathy, how's that? No? Wave to me? No. It's not here.
Oh, no, that's the first
Earpiece
one.
check, Kathy?
Third
Oh,
one,
she's
no,
on
you're
2.
the right one.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
it's normally on
hang
1, so.
15.
Doesn't matter, as long as I know. Where she is.
802 you've
The
got.
weather's the same, and that's just a
Oh,
locked
yeah.
off.
That's a lock. They're all lock offs. There's no movements. Actually, you're not done the thing.
No.
No, there's no 2-shot even. We can't even get a 2-shot. I mean, she's half a mile
it's
from it.
03 and 15, right?
Yep, that's it. 03, 00, 03 and 15. That's right. Yeah, there's no 12. Yeah. Okay.
Coming up in Good Morning New Zealand, we
Sure, I
have
just need
a
to
story,
find three.
more story about the political ramifications and what's going on in East and West Germany after
Okay, stand
Oh,
by.
so I just
The-
changed A.
We've got 4 of them.
No, it's only 3.
Oh,
There's
it's only 3?
Only 3 this morning.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, righto.
So you don't have to change
So you got them all, yeah.
Great, done.
Okay, roll record, please, Dennis.
You happy with voice checks on Dennis?
Oh, I'm sorry,
Philip.
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 Sorry.
Definitely not Dennis. I'm recording.
No, we've had old Dennis here for a couple of days. Okay, we're recording. A little bit of black. Yeah, and first one, and mix. And mix. Give him 26. Thereabouts.
That's all right. Happy?
I think that's Okay, that's fine. Yep. Okay, we'll try and rehearse them. We haven't got scripties yet, so it's right. Let me. We won't have scripts for about 5 minutes yet. So what I'd like to do is obviously move the television. I saw the other day a key.
Got more blue.
Yeah, that's what Liz said. She couldn't believe it. Because I went there to do a stand-in for them. I said, oh, my shirt disappeared. But it didn't. It's key.
No, it's probably because it's got a bit of blue in it.
Yeah.
It's alright. This chroma key is really good.
Must be very accurate.
Oh,
I mean, in the old days, if you were anywhere near it, you know, just
yeah,
go.
that's quite accurate.
Yeah.
Polly Hudson was
Right,
one
have you
of
got
the
your
Seagate
earpiece on,
days.
Penny?
Yeah. She's got these bright tie silk suits. They're really intense colours. That was smooth.
Just say, well, that's the news for this morning. Now here's Penny with the weather, and you can do a bit of a chat, Pen, and then throw back to Kathy. I just want to see how you feel chucking the tennis ball back and forth.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, mics are open, so speak.
Mike's all right.
yeah, okay. Well, Tom might not be here, but the other half of that dynamic duo is Penelope.
Go.
And what did you actually put in there? What I said. Dynamic at this time? Well, we're working on it.
I'll be back later to see it, show you how the weather's shaping up. Is that how you say something like
Yeah,
that?
something.
That's what I wrote in, so I didn't know what you said.
Okay, does Penny want to throw back? Penelope, you just throw back. Okay. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And I'll be back later to see, well, to show you what's happening on the weather.
Weather break.
Kathy.
Now with the news, first developments in West Germany.
No, that'll be fine. That'll be long.
And Southland, and that'll
No, that'll be fine. That'll be long.
and Southland, and that of course will also bring a few showers. So if we have a look on our map, you can see that that front is all tucked away in this very rough westerly, so winds should get pretty smart down that way today. But there's not much in the way of wind elsewhere. Pressure's fairly high over the rest of the country, and they'll start slowly dropping as this low gets a little closer. So let's have a look at the North Island. I'm just going to try and remember what the pictures are. Oh! Oh, the mic's not open.
Just keep your mics open in case you want to talk to me, just low level so I can hear them.
So if you're not
Let's have a look at the North Island. Well, you can see daybreaks again fairly sunny over northerners. There's a little cloud in the west. Once again, those western and nor'westers are
Folks, we can't do much in terms of rehearsal until we get our scripts, and they're busy tearing, so although you're all nice and ready, we can't do lots.
Is it possible to get a pen? Have you got a pen too?
I've got a pen.
Yeah, I haven't got one. Just anything for me, just so I can scribble things. Please.
You better call me Colleen, I think.
Colleen? With the way you got all the ladies now
I want to
this
scribble
morning,
all over my chroma key. Some graphics.
You've got all the lovelies
How are
here
you
today.
feeling? Alright?
A pen. I've only got mine that I need.
By midday you'll know you're awake.
Probably one in the newsroom laying around somewhere, usually on the table. Oh, there. Does it go? You might be lucky.
I think it's too long. Yeah, because performance-wise you're peaking now. You've got to get in here and peak as soon as you get in. And to have to stay and do midday as well is...
Because I'll wind down and then I'll have to...
Oh, of course you will. And you'll feel tired. By about 10 o'clock, all you want to do is go to sleep one night. You'll feel really tired. I know.
we meant it this long.
I was. No, actually, I had it. Really.
You're a gem. Thank you.
Well, 10:45. What's the time? It's the morning.
What network do we go on, Lionel?
That's a good point. I think it's TV2. 2, yep. We go out in RF2.
How are scripts going, Lionel?
Coming, Kyle. Tell me, they're just hanging there. If we can get them by about 7 minutes too, we'll do a full rehearsal of the opening and possibly the weather. Also, we're waiting on the graphics list. Looks like he's going through now. How's it looking, Stephen? Good. It's a level like here. Yeah, it's not bad. Huh? Yeah, well, when you did that thing for rep garlers. Well, I thought I knew everything about this business that was happening on the television. So I went to bed late Friday night and I programmed the telly first to record all the kids' shows.
Can they go and be?
I'll be, yep, sure.
You're happy with all your pictures, Bryce?
Have we got the list, have we?
No. That's... He's still going, looks like he's... Oh. See, they're going through stuff there now, I don't know what they're doing. Oh, ahead of ourselves.
So, how, the weather then,
Rachel, are you able to stay there?
AB,
Yes.
AB,
Oh,
all the way
good,
through.
okay.
Sweet 2, sweet 4.
Oh, good. Good morning.
Morning, just check up with the bars.
Bit of tone, please.
Shame.
The tone, thank you.
Oh, shame.
Oh, that's right,
Oh,
it's
he's
gone.
on TV3 now.
Well, I did something on Friday that may, I think everybody in TV3 is going to
Sweet 4, sweet 2.
because I said to
Good
the...
morning.
Hi, do you want us to come pre-keyed with the clock straight onto you?
Yes, please, if you would.
Yeah, no problem.
And if you could just remove it during the two weather sequences because it gets a bit busy.
Yeah, okay. With the first weather segment, wouldn't we go straight to you? How close is that to you into the program?
Well, it's probably around 10 past
They're all going to
7.
get their list.
Okay, thanks.
It's actually 5-second weather throw into it.
I'll wait for the
Lionel?
list.
So,
Yeah.
We're ready for a rehearsal if you are.
Straight
Okay.
into it, is there?
I thought that one would get
Yeah.
the list. Right, let's go. We're going to rehearse
Okay,
the
we'll try and
opening.
lose it for that too.
Sweet 4 tapes. We're going to rehearse the opening and probably the weather. So stand by. Now the list doesn't appear to be ready yet, so we'll just do the opening and give them a few minutes.
Well, I've got to rely on this list too, but it's right. It ain't right.
it don't work. What am I doing, Mum?
Well, that's right. That's right. You're not with us. Listening.
I didn't
Okay,
see
we'll
last night.
stand by to roll listening as soon as it's ready.
Sweet. Where am I?
It's ready
4,
now,
play
stand
it.
by,
Can
yeah.
you,
Okay, folks, we've got the
that's
opening
it,
title.
thank you.
Stand by. We'll do a. We'll go through the opening, right through to the start of the intro of the first story, and just we'll cut out after the first paragraph, and then we'll try and do the weather if the list is ready. Colin, have you opening? In. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and roll.
Rolling.
Cue.
Welcome to Good Morning New Zealand. Tom laboured hard over the weekend. Now he's got a couple of days off, so I'll be bringing you what's been happening here
3
and
next.
abroad while you've been
Let's put down
sleeping.
the theme.
There's the latest historic developments in East and West Berlin. Bulgaria's hardline leader steps down, and a special aircraft arrives in Christchurch, bristling with the latest in weather research. And speaking of weather, Tom might be sleeping in this morning, but the other half of the dynamic duo is here.
Dynamic at this time? Well, I'm doing my best, and I'll be along a little later on to tell you how the weather's shaping up.
First, the latest from East Germany. The embattled Communist Party leadership overnight bowed to further
Okay,
pressure
that's
by agreeing
fine.
to call a special...
How far away are we, folks? We need to rehearse the weather.
Sweet
Almost
4,
finished this. The
play.
machine hasn't,
You've got a story
won't throw up the
called,
isobars. I'll
Spain
have to go
Drugs
back
to
into
go
the
on
weather
that list,
connect and
please.
give you a mix of
Called
that.
what?
It only flickers,
Should be
it
one
doesn't
after the
give it
clouds
long enough time for me to
called
grab
Spain
it. I will mix
Drugs.
the rest.
Well, let's rehearse the weather.
Are they updates at a later time or what? thought that there were updates at a later time, is that right?
Yeah, there's a half-hour news from now, from 7 o'clock until 7:30, and then at 8 o'clock there's a 5-minute bulletin which normally has about 3 or 4 tapes in it.
Right, but is that a separate program to this?
Yes, it is.
Fine.
That break title coming out of, is that key to?
So just check with them, Bryce. I'll carry on with this. Okay, stand by. We're going to the item 9.
How's the list going?
Straight into the weather, but the weather will be minus the graphics, just really to get a few minutes into it. Okay, here we go. And coming to 2. 3, 2, 1, cue.
All that high-tech information will hopefully make the job of the forecasters a bit easier, Penelope.
Kathy, we can always do with a little extra help, but in the meantime we'll have to make the most of what we've got. So let's see what the satellite's dishing up. Well, you can see we've got 2 main cloud bands on our map today. This wispy grey one in the South Tasman, a bigger conglomeration of cloud in the north, and also notice there's 2 bright areas in this, the first one of which will be rolling on to the far north today, and that'll bring a few showers. And as that's doing that, this grey lot containing a front will just brush Fiordland and Southland. Now if you have a look on our map, you can see that the front's tucked away in a wild westerly, so winds will get a bit rough down that way, but pressures are still reasonably high over the rest of the country, this high just out off the East Cape, but they'll start slowly falling as this low in the north starts edging a little closer. So let's have a look at the North Island. Something, is it, do you want to keep me to keep going?
Fine, no, stop there, we've got 2 minutes before.
That most of the cloud is on the west coast in the morning, a few showers also peppering the coast, and this westerly will get quite wild through Fiordland, and as the day progresses the westerly and the moisture will start moving into Southland and also into Stewart Island. By lunchtime there's more cloud and showers right up the west coast, a little bit of sun appearing over Bullaway, and it's mainly dry and sunny in the east. By evening, there's no great change in store. Showers more or less where they have been all day, but the bulk of the island is dry and quite fine. As for the cities, we can see that Auckland has a little bit of cloud and a few showers arriving by afternoon.
9 months after the Soviets pulled out
VTB voiceover to start, then effects up at 4.
Still struggling to keep the country's main supply routes open. They're battling to control the Salang Highway, the vital lifeline from the Soviet border to the capital, Kabul.
Nice bit of enhancement there.
Thousands of trucks will be competing for space on this road.
Cheapo enhancement.
2 minutes to you.
Thank you.
The Salang Highway, the most vital supply.
Okay, this is 1 minute 40, so now, sorry Lizzie, I was actually looking at that, sorry, there,
The reason,
coming up.
as usual, the Hindu Kush Mountains, from Kabul toward the Soviet border. The Salang Highway is as spectacular.
We're 21 seconds
as it is
over. I
dangerous.
think Penny can tighten on the weather, and I might drop the last back here.
We'll talk to her when we get into the breaks.
Recently pushed off the road, and the remains of government tanks hit by H-15 rockets bear witness to past battles. The fighting delays supplies of food, fuel, medicine and munitions desperately needed in the capital. Sometimes these drivers have to wait for weeks for the army to clear the road. Russian-made rocket launchers are
Apologise. You can tell her that.
Kathy, when you come back, can you just preceding the update on the country's weather, there's been some sound and vision disturbances down country, some kind of atmospherics, people are getting a funny picture. So if you just make some kind of reference and apology to it, some folks south of here may be experiencing picture and sound disturbances and
It's caused through atmosphere.
yeah, something like that. Yep. Okay. Structure.
1 minute out of the break.
This is Lawyer Ross Holmes, Auckland's popular legal advisor. Ross Holmes specialises in property transactions, and because he does, no one gives better quality services for less anywhere in New Zealand. Fees on buying this home were only $400. Selling this home only $300.
Lionel?
Ross Holmes, Auckland
Tell
Law
Kathy she's doing very well.
Yes.
From beginning to end. Phone 460-274 and get Ross Holmes Law Centres on your side. Unbeatable for quality and price.
30 seconds out of the break.
There he is. One of mine. One of mine.
One of your old mates, eh?
Yep. What a masterpiece.
It's the type of couple we don't
Now there's a front man.
$69 a metre. 44 ounce arm twist in fancy colours. Or phone back.
10 seconds.
$14 a metre. Now you can't beat that, can you?
Drive into
5,
Magic Carpets
4,
now. Brings up
3,
windows.
2.
Go. Now we understand that there's a few problems with sound and vision down in the south of the country. I wonder, Penelope, is it anything to do with you?
Go.
I'm innocent, it's not me. It's actually probably these clouds up here in the northern Tasman. You can see we've got quite a conglomeration up there with two bright spots. The first of which is probably rolling onto the far north right now and creating a few atmospheric problems. We've also got a cloud mass in the south Tasman and that contains a front. Now if we have a look on our map, we can see that the front is tucked away in quite a while.
30 seconds on air. Stand by.
We did give the wrong time on those. 30 seconds, is it?
Yep. 15 seconds.
Okay, we have a tease in the middle in this, and then back to 2.
10 seconds.
Can you quickly give me good morning?
5, 4,
We won't.
3,
Okay.
2, 1.
Don't worry. And
On air.
go.
Welcome back to Breakfast News at 7:15. And for those of you who
16.
have just joined us, here's today's top stories.
Stand by with
East
the
Germany's
B.
embattled Communist Party leaders are calling a special congress to discuss the party's future as East continues to meet West amidst the debris of the Berlin Wall.
Be wrong.
The Attorney General David Longy is not expected to stand in next
76.
year's general election
5,
following shock
4,
revelations about his
3,
private life.
Go.
2.
And the Meat Workers Union warns of tough action if they don't get together with employers over the threat of further job cuts in South Island works. There are signs that the next Eastern Bloc country to undergo change is Bulgaria, as another old guard leader steps down. The head of state has resigned after 35 years in office. He was also the Communist Party's chief, a post he'd held longer than any other leader in Eastern Europe.
Fyodor Zhivkov was a communist printer who
Crown,
rose to
I've
be
got
a
a really-
partisan leader in the battle against Bulgaria's German occupiers in World War II. By 1954, he was first secretary of the Communist Party, and under him, Bulgaria established a position as the Soviet Union's most unswerving ally, while its secret services acquired an unsavory reputation for slightly harebrained brutality. The man who attempted to assassinate Pope John Paul.
Now that's in the list now, that
Bulgarian
thing.
Secret Service had put him up to it, and they were accused of using poisoned umbrellas to kill exiled dissidents. Mr. Zhivkov's remorseless campaign to homogenize Bulgaria's many ethnic minorities culminated this year in the mass exodus of thousands of
Penny.
Bulgaria's
Penny.
ethnic Turks.
Penny,
Turkey.
we have your
in the Kremlin about their own
nice
minorities.
Yeah, I've got it
When
back
the
now.
pollution of Bulgaria's
can't
water
hear you.
and air brought ecological dissidents out into the open this autumn, Mr. Zhivkov ordered an official ban to drown them out before the police went in to beat them up.
30 seconds end of fighting.
I think she's just pointing it out. Gentle.
Moscow was
I
furious.
think we must have just let the head of it, but she says ad libbing. See that she's only got points in that strip. It's all.
It's not really enough information for us to follow.
It's not bad. I think we just. If we listen, we're all right. I'm not too concerned.
Thinking of other things.
Yeah, well, that's the problem.
With Zhivkov gone,
That's the
10
first real
seconds.
test we've had.
rapid reforms take place and the
Stand by, we're coming to 2.
will become reality.
Mr. Zhivkov's departure leaves
So
only
tied out.
Mr. Ceausescu of Romania as communism's last dinosaur. For now.
Kika.
External Minister Mike Moore heads to Japan today for trade talks and private meetings with Japanese businessmen affected by the collapse of the DFC.
It's a key at
He
the
says
start
he
of
doesn't
this
see the move as
advertisement.
damage
Can we
control,
come pre-keyed?
but hopes it'll lead to a better understanding of the government's hands-off stance. Mr. Moore says he'll reinforce statements from Finance Minister David Cagle, who has said the DFC didn't carry government guarantee and the government would not
What's
interfere
it?
with a privately run company.
Oh, it's on VTA.
VTA next.
Kiwi exporters are being told to get one up on the Aussies in a new $2.5 million campaign,
related.
Get into Australia. From the 1st of July next year, the last
VTA
major
next,
obstacles to
pre-key.
free trade across the Tasman will be demolished, and Kiwis are being encouraged to get in first.
Hey, rolling.
Anything to declare, sir? 2006, million pairs of pantyhose, 500
And loser.
Give the neighbours a run for their money. Get into Australia. Hey!
Stand by with Elizabeth
Someone's
Racisis.
got to make the team look good.
Turning up the
Key.
heat on the Aussies will soon become much easier for Kiwi garment exporters.
And
Clothing is
loser.
one of the
Pat
big
Life,
areas
it's Kia's
where
next.
10
much
seconds to the
fear,
next
much
one.
wonder
And
closer
then
to
Cody
a
Hart.
relationship. Lower Hutt's Rembrandt Suits is one company that's been putting in a lot
Yes,
of
if we
hard
can.
graft to find out what the Aussie man
Yes,
wants
yes,
in a
over here.
suit.
No, it's over there actually. Sorry, just over there.
It's pet life, isn't it?
Key, yep.
Initial magazine,
Ooh.
which we wish to eat it because it's very close to
No, no.
various fashions.
We go to 2 and then we go to...
You'd think
Now
there
that we
isn't
two.
much a Kiwi swimsuit maker could show
But no, we only did that on the other one because it was a VT.
manufacturers.
Oh, we don't do it over
We're not
there.
meant to do any cues at all in the breaks.
Popular with the Aussie beach girl,
You're coming
that
back out of the
exports
break,
have
don't you?
quickly
Yeah, only
dipped
coming out,
$5
but not
billion.
going in.
Not so long ago,
Jeez, that tape's stuffed, isn't it?
many of its swimsuits in Aussie. Now the
30 seconds, end of item.
VTB.
$50.
Minute 4. 2 minutes. Yeah, we've got a key. Yeah, well, I've got 10 minutes. Yeah, they're all keys.
So you got 10 minutes.
Yep.
Told you I'd be safe from you. See you, smarty cat.
When's our first key?
In fact, I'll be safe from you for the next 20 years.
No, it's a Doug James report.
Three seconds, stand
Stand
by.
by.
This is Channel 2.
Rolling.
Still to the 3-4.
Okay, we're on it. And Q-Cup.
Welcome to Good Morning New Zealand.
Yeah.
Laboured hard over the weekend.
Hi Ferguson, I still start operating here and I don't know what to do for the list. Apparently it's just a break title.
You've been sleeping. There's the latest
Stand by.
historic
Should be on the
rundown.
It's on the rundown, there's the weather as well.
Yeah, I'll make up the weather, but I'll be about another 5 minutes for that.
That's
The
fine.
latest in weather research. And speaking of weather, Tom might be sleeping.
Okay, take 3.
Just do it as quick as you can.
Take 3 now.
Dynamic at this hour. Well,
I usually go a
doing
little
my
bit
best.
earlier, so
And I'll be along a little later to tell you how the weather's shaping up.
And 2.
First, the latest from East Germany. The embattled Communist Party leadership overnight...
VTB is next.
I'd be very surprised if you get the break title. You've got to come out of the list, dial in another hellish number to get the break title.
Well, we've got it there, haven't we?
Yeah, but no, it'll go when I go back into the list.
Oh, I see what you mean, yeah. Can you call them up manually?
There's 2.
Yeah.
And shows the new East German leadership is increasingly on the run. History
Stand by.
continued to be made with a meeting of the mayors of East and West
Coming to
Berlin in
VTB.
Potsdamer Square to open one of 10 new crossing points through the wall.
VTB and go.
Today they slew
Got the off air on up there.
it was just an illusion. Mere bricks and mortar posing as an indestructible monster. Before the wall, Potsdamer Platz was one of the principal border crossings. Just as its closure brought tears of grief, its reopening brought
John
tears of
Sweeney
joy.
reports from Bonn, West Germany.
West Berliners were not hemmed in by the wall, but they were separated.
1 minute end of item.
As much as East Berliners wanted out, they wanted in.
Brad's got that on
West
Lego too. You can get rid of it.
journey to reclaim his heritage. He shook hands with the mayor of East Berlin, another powerful symbol of reconciliation.
The wall loomed so large in their conscience for so long that it was a life of its own. But as the physical barrier goes, so goes the psychological barrier.
As the crowd poured through, an unbelievable sight. Guards from east and west
30 seconds, end of
arm in
item.
arm, working to
Okay, we come back to
keep
2.
of the euphoria.
And then VTC.
There were symbols of peace and friendship for East German border guards. And there was another symbol, a bear, the mascot of West Berlin, but also a reminder of the Russian bear, in whose shadow these people have lived for so long.
10 seconds.
As they have done for the past couple of days,
Stand by.
Berliners poured into the west. The once unconquerable wall now conquered. The divided city no longer so divided.
Q-Cup.
Behind the euphoria
That's the
of
wrong.
past few days, there are
That's
some
right, no,
serious
you're right.
problems
Sorry,
which still
I'm
have
looking
to
at the
be
wrong
solved.
script.
More than 11,000 East Germans
working
in
it
the
here,
past
isn't it?
24 hours say they want to stay in the
Cool, it
West.
is.
Now the West German government is being challenged to deal with a new economic
BTC
situation
coming
no
up.
one anticipated.
See rolling.
And watch the key. 3 seconds
to
go.
discuss trading economic aid or social reforms with East German President
Lose it.
Egon Krenz. The announcement, which did not set a date or specify the amount of aid, followed a special cabinet session in Bonn. As East Germans continue to flow into West Germany, the host country is sorting
this weather out during the
jubilation and trying to figure out what to do with them all.
during item 8.
Is larger than
See if he's okay.
blueprints that we might have to deal with him.
Meanwhile, members of the opposition Social Democratic Party accuse the government of having no blueprint at all to deal with the East's liberalization bombshell, which unleashed the exodus. Still, former Chancellor Willy Brandt couldn't contain his sense of national pride.
Hey, looking at these hundreds of thousands of people moving
30
from
seconds
one part of the city to the other, from the other to the
come
one.
back to, we do come back to 2, it's not loaded.
The same can be said for most Germans, but as
Come
the
back to
initial
2, followed by
euphoria
VTD
fades,
with
the
a
hard
voiceover.
realities of economics and logistics are setting in. Under
then back
German
to
law,
2
the new
PM
arrivals
story.
are entitled to passports and the full rights of West German citizenship.
10
So far,
seconds.
West Germany's strong economy has handled the influx. But if, as expected, thousands more arrive, the long-term ramifications will severely drain the country's ability to cope.
The Attorney General David Lange is not expected to stand at next year's general election. Political commentators say the former Prime Minister's political career seems to be in tatters after revelations about his private life. Mr. Lange has separated from his wife of 21 years, Naomi. Last night on the network news, it was revealed that he could soon set up house with his former speechwriter Margaret Pope. He'll move into her home in Wellington within the next day or so. Mr. Lange is expected to announce within the next week that he won't be standing in next year's election. The Meat Workers Union is calling for urgent talks with meat companies over the threat of further job cuts in South Island works. If they refuse, the union warns it'll step up its loadout ban. Waitaki International is expected to announce today that the Alliance company is taking over its 6 South Island meatworks, and there's speculation restructuring will see up to 1,000 more jobs go. Leftist guerrillas in El Salvador have launched a major offensive against military and civilian targets in the capital city San Salvador. 13 people are believed to have been killed. The home of the country's president, Alfredo Cristiani, was also attacked, but he was unhurt.
Short one, 22 seconds.
The worst attack on the capital in the country decade of civil war. Machine gun fire and powerful bombs blasted away last night for 7 hours.
Okay, 2 next with a spoken, then we've got to sort that list out. Just see how he's going, Brian.
President Alfredo Cristiani escaped unhurt from a rebel attack on his home. Guerrillas say the attack is revenge for the bombing last month of his union headquarters.
How are you doing with the list?
And in other overseas news, there's been yet another accident involving an American naval vessel. One sailor was killed and 4 injured when a destroyer collided with a merchant ship just north of Singapore today. It's the 6th accident involving the US Navy in the past 2 weeks. A special contingent of troops has been sent by the Kremlin to the capital of Moldavia after clashes between police and nationalists. 130 people were hurt in the latest outburst of unrest which has swept outlying Soviet republics in recent months. An American research aircraft has arrived in Christchurch with an experiment expected to provide more accurate weather forecasting worldwide. The scientists are boarded using laser beams to drag valuable information from something most of us only notice in the summer.
Okay, can you set up the ice bars and where to connect through to us, please? NCR. If you can take NCR2 just at the If you can take NCR2 just at the beginning of the
It's
thing,
so
is it
small
not
that even iron
possible
can
here?
waft on the breeze for a day or so.
Stand by for key.
The amount of material, and we have to have some estimate of the optical properties of it.
Okay,
This
we've
is
got a
the
big
big
problem
number
here.
of 4 flying lasers.
So we go to a commercial break
which
first.
has been through 15 kilometres of atmosphere to measure
We
the
haven't got the
speed
new
of
ice
airborne
bars.
particles, using them as a tracer
We
for the
need
wind.
them.
Wind speed, say the scientists, is better for
Just stay on the maps, we just stay on the maps, okay? Penelope, we will not have the new ice bars. Talk about it over the satellite maps, okay? Okay, just,
It's on machines,
okay, we'll use the maps.
particle. Clear air will
How far to go?
Stand by for key.
Right now you're breathing in
Key.
dust, which are
20 seconds, end of item.
So we're now a precursor to B, do we?
Oh, no.
To A?
So we're going to change.
Around
We take the maps
10 seconds,
first.
stand by.
developed here will be packed into a satellite. Laser beams will
Stand by,
draw
what's the last
circles in
word?
the air, lowering
Of a
the
metre.
Stand by.
by using particles as small as a millionth of a metre.
Cue cut.
All that
Stand by.
high-tech information will hopefully make the job of the forecasters a bit easier, Penelope.
Go.
Kathy, we can always do with a little
Okay,
extra
stand by.
help.
Roll the
But in the
maps.
meantime,
Yeah,
we
the
have to
first
make
thing we
most
need
of
is
what we've
breakfast
got.
time, right?
So
North
let's see
Island,
what
yep.
the satellites
He's
do
rolling.
today.
Well, you can see we've got two main cloud
And
features
freeze
on
it
that
when she
today.
gets to the end of
grey
it.
wispy one to the south, quite a conglomeration to the north.
There's a
Now
minute
this
15
northern
of
one
it.
here, you'll notice that there's two bright spots. The first
Yeah.
of which will start rolling on to the far north today and will bring a little bit of the shower activity. The southern mass contains a front and that'll brush for Auckland and Southland today and also bring a few showers. Now we haven't got our map to show you, but this front down here is tucked away in quite a wild
Okay, stand by with
so
breakfast.
expecting winds to be a little bit rough around the southern end of the South Island, but pressures are still reasonably high over the rest of the
Just watch
country,
it, she's ad
and they'll
libbing us
start to
today.
gradually
Only
fall as
points
the
in
low edges a little closer. So let's have a look at
Go.
the North
That's it,
Island. Well,
fine.
you can see that breakfast is mainly fine,
Next
but
one
there's a
should be
little bit
lunch,
of cloud
yeah.
around, and you can see that the showers are starting to fall in the far north. This northwesterly quite brisk around the capital.
Go.
Now by lunchtime you'll notice that there's still a few showers in the far north, and some of these will start to slide into the Bay of Plenty and Waikato. Clouds a little bit more abundant, but there's still plenty of sun peeping through, and these breezy nor'westers continue. By dinner time, there's little change. Those showers still in the
South
far
Island
north.
next.
Just a few of them in the Bay of Plenty and Waikato, but everyone else should have a dry evening. Now in the South Island you can see that it's also a little bit cloudy on the southern west coast. We've also got a few showers peppered right along that coast, and you can see that a westerly is starting to blow through there, and that'll be particularly rough through Fiordland. And all this rain and moisture should start easing into Southland and around Stewart Island by about lunchtime, but the east is cool, sunny and cloudy. Now by evening,
Been and gone, mate.
you can see that that westerly continues to blow, but
Stand
there's
by
a
with the
little bit more
metros,
sun around,
Auckland.
particularly around the border
Say again?
area.
What
And
do you
actually
want
most of
them on
Ireland
NCR
should have a dry,
Stand by
mainly
presentation.
cloudy, nice evening.
Go.
So let's have a look at the
Include them in the list during
metropolitans.
the break.
For Auckland, there's a little bit of cloud today. Showers arriving
Hamilton
in
is
the
next,
afternoon, maximum of 20.
And mix.
And that's the temperature Hamilton will also get,
Hawke's
20.
Bay
It's
is
a little
next.
cloudy there, but the breezes are quite gentle.
And mix.
For Hawke's Bay, the sun is still shining over in the Hawke's
Wellington
Bay.
next.
It's mild with a high of 22, just gentle breezes there.
And mix.
And in the capital, breezes aren't gentle. They'll have
Christchurch
blustery
next.
nor'westers, lots of cloud, high 18.
Mix.
Into the South Island, Christchurch is warm, fine and sunny, high 22. Dunedin, mostly
Go.
fine, warm nor'westers picking
by
up
with the outlook.
speed, high 19.
Go.
So as I said, if you can make the most
Coming
of
back
those
to Kathy
days
on
today,
two,
if you get any,
plus we
please
roll in
do.
a teas
As
and a
you can
break
see,
tonal
there's
key.
not much of them around tomorrow. Kathy.
Go.
Thanks, Penny. Coming up, a news update and moves by New Zealand businesses to trade with Australia.
See you, Roland.
And go.
keeping
Key.
open a vital lifeline in Afghanistan.
On you.
Right.
Off air.
Woo! Yeah, you just take the time off the clock.